So now I don't have to stretch.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi, beautiful humans. Welcome to Backpacking Barbara. Today I'm here with, what's your name?
Tsitsi.
Sisi.
Yes.
Sisi is Zimbabwean, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and she's solo backpacking around different African countries. So we are just catching up to know what's her next destination from here and where she's been at, what she's doing, and what she's up to in all the other destinations she's heading to, right? Yeah, so she will introduce herself, who she is, and we get to know her and her journey. So, hi.
Hello. Hello.
How are you?
I am very, very well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially that it's Friday night and I
Mhm.
get to have my wine.
yeah, sure. thing.
Red wine. Okay. So my name is Tsitsi. As Barbara said, I am originally from Zimbabwe. I am currently traveling Cape to Cairo. I kind of started that in February. And yeah, I am. I traveled from Cape Town to Namibia, from Namibia to Botswana, Botswana to Zimbabwe, and now I made the beautiful Barbara here in Zambia. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So from here, we're in Zambia.
Yeah.
You will head to Namibia.
No, Malawi.
Malawi, sorry.
Yes.
You plan to stay there for how long?
Maybe about a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what inspired you like to just get out and just decide to take this trip? Are you first of all traveling by road or you taking flights?
Mostly by road. Yeah. I guess my inspiration came from, so I've traveled a lot around other parts of the world, but as a Zimbabwean,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had the opportunity, or I haven't traveled around Africa much, just because of like all the things you hear about how hard it is to
Yeah.
travel around Africa. But now that I feel like I am operating on expert level travel, it's time to embark on African travel. And I guess it's also like just a way to get a deeper understanding of myself and my place as an African, and showcasing that our story doesn't have to be told by other people.
Yeah.
Africa is more than what the media has to say, and so want to see it for myself and then also show it to others in the hope that others are also inspired to think a little bit differently about the associations with Africa.
Okay. You didn't tell me though what you do. What do you do? Do you mind sharing?
I am an aspiring YouTuber,
Okay. What's your YouTube channel?
Miss Mandlovu. So
Okay.
yeah, my YouTube channel is Miss Mandlovu, and you can also find me on Instagram at the Miss Mandlovu. I say aspiring because I am still very new to this, and therefore would love for more people to come and join in the conversation,
Yeah.
build a bit of a community of like fellow Africans or African enthusiasts. Yeah, just so that I don't feel as lonely, because it's a solo trip, and therefore
Yeah.
it's nice to just be able to engage with other people as I go along.
So how is the experience for you blogging around Africa, being an African person? You know, I know like usually you get stares and then people like have these assumptions of probably you a big, you know, blogger or influencer, stuff like that. So what is your experience like blogging around African countries, you know, trying to fetch for content as a black girl?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think a lot of people think I'm a journalist,
Oh.
which can be hit or miss, because sometimes it gets them excited because they think I'm doing something a little bit more
Yeah,
serious.
yeah, yeah.
But then sometimes it also makes people nervous because they're like, what are you trying to catch us out doing?
Mm.
Um, I am slowly getting a little bit more comfortable with like vlogging in public, and it hasn't been easy because, yeah, I guess people are not expecting it. I look local, so people are like, "What are you doing?" And then
Yeah.
even worse because obviously, um, like in different African countries, people speak different languages. I look like a local, but I don't speak the local language. So like
True.
sometimes people are like talking to me in their local language, and I'm like, I don't
Yes,
know what you're
yes, yes,
saying, and
yes.
then you can see from their body language that they're not happy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know, what are
What you're
you
saying,
saying?
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Also, they mistaken me sometimes to be Zambian, and I'm like, yeah, I don't speak. I don't know.
yeah.
And I have to always say where I'm from, which is annoying. But it's okay.
Yeah, I think it's part of the journey, and sometimes it makes for good conversation,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's just like,
Okay, I didn't mean to say it's annoying. Obviously, we are all Africans. But like, yeah, you don't have. I don't have to like tell you whether I'm Zambian or you should just. How long do you plan to travel in Africa? Like, do you have you planned out like by this month? That's when you will stop at this country, or you just
when I'm out of money,
when you're
I
out of
stop.
money?
So
Okay.
my current plan is to travel until October. I'm hoping to get to Egypt in September and go celebrate in my favorite in my favorite city in the whole wide world, which is Cape Town.
Cape Town.
So yeah, that's the hope. And then we'll need to start thinking about serious life things after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just ask one important question, which is, how are you able to sustain yourself through the travels? Like, yeah.
Borrow big or steal. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
So I worked as an accountant in between New Zealand and the UK before I started traveling. So
yeah.
I saved a lot, especially during COVID.
Mm,
And then since I started traveling, I just do like gig work, like small contracts.
mm,
Yeah, just to make ends meet. I am not making as much as I would like, but I think that's also because I feel like I want to fully immerse myself in the travel experience. Um, but if I find a way that I can earn more regular, like something more regular and sustainable,
mm,
perhaps this could be a whole lifestyle thing because one of my desires would be to travel more extensively around Africa,
mm.
really digging into like the culture,
Yeah,
engaging with the people, picking up a few of the languages,
yeah.
and being able to share that kind of material. So, yeah.
Oh, that's really great. Sorry, I had to ask that because
No.
I know like most people usually wonder like how do they start, you know, to do this whole solo backpacking and everything. And there's always this.
Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very important like sometimes to share and African people like to share like the tips and and how to start onto like embarking on these journeys. Obviously, you need some money, and there's so many ways. Obviously, people like make money on the road, and it's usually very nice to like share different ways people make money,
Yeah.
because it's the most important thing to we talk about places to visit and blah blah blah, but then the reality is you need to eat, you need to pay for to like transport to go to these places to make these shootings and do everything. So it's very important to like be aware of how you can a little bit save up some money.
Yeah. And I guess
Yeah.
what I would also say about um yeah, one thing I would add is if there is something that you want to do, you need to pursue it with everything. Like you need to be willing to make sacrifices for
Sacrifice.
it. And if you're not willing to make sacrifices, you
That's
don't
true.
want it
Yeah.
deep enough. And what I mean by that is yes, you need money, but you also need to find a way to be creative about how you make money or how you sustain yourself.
Yeah.
Like I've met people on the road who literally volunteer and get their accommodation sorted in that
Yes.
way. So they're not paying for accommodation or food.
True.
And so all the money they need to find is money to like go out and
Go
do
on.
excursions. Um, Alternatively, build up a skill online where you can get paid to make money online. It might not, to start off with, it might not be mind blowing money, but if you also pick your destinations
Yeah.
based on the
That's
cost of
true.
living and that kind of thing, it actually makes a massive difference. Um, so yeah, just be creative. And like I've met people who've gone and worked on farms. Um, they have worked in
Yeah.
homes. Like if travel is your ultimate goal and
Yes. Yes.
desire,
Yes.
and when I say travel, I'm not talking about like luxury, just staying in nice hotels.
Yes.
I'm talking about like going out there, seeing new things, meeting new people, trying out different things. Like also in a non-manipulative way, be a
Yeah.
nice person and speak to people because
Yeah.
you never know who you meet and what opportunities may present themselves because you just met and bonded with like a kind soul.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mm. That's interesting. Um. So maybe I'll ask you, uh, through all your journeys, what is like your inspiration? Like, what keeps you going? To keep like travel, to get on the bus, you know, to just go, because I know sometimes it feels like maybe you don't want to do it, because you can as well just be comfortable.
I'm tired. I'm tired. I feel like I'm always tired now.
Mm, yeah,
Um, I think I have three big motivations. The first one is my sisters.
mm,
Um, them being able to see me do stuff that scares me
yeah,
inspires them to do the same for themselves in
true,
whatever area or aspect
yeah,
they want to in their life. Um, and then the next thing is just curiosity. Like,
yeah,
I want to know, I want to see,
yes,
like, and I always think if someone else can do it, why can't I? Like, visiting some places that people might say, oh, you shouldn't go there. It's like, if people live there,
mm,
why can't I? Yes, it'll be difficult and uncomfortable, but
yeah,
like we all face difficulty and discomfort in life anyway.
yeah,
So again, curiosity. And then I think something that is new, that is motivating me now, I feel like is beyond me, in that I feel I want to show people that you can achieve what you set out to do.
yeah,
Um, Africa is not all bad and gloomy and starving and
yes,
all the negative stuff we hear all the time
yeah,
on the media. Like, there's actually so much more going on. And for Black people or for Africans, I think we don't have as much representation of ourselves as
yeah,
women doing these kinds of things.
yes, yes,
And
sure,
therefore, I feel like I want to be in that
In
place.
there,
I want to
yeah.
be that person I wanted to
True.
see like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
20 years ago, growing
Yeah.
up, and be like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be like so and so. I think one of my biggest inspirations is Jessica Nabongo, who was the first documented black woman to visit all the countries in the world. And Glow Graphics, she didn't visit all the countries in the world, but like um, it's Gloria Tanmo, but she goes by Glow Graphics on social media.
Mm.
She is like a badass businesswoman. She used to travel. She used to backpack actually.
Mm.
Then she went into business, and then yeah, now she like just coaches other people who are into business. So seeing how much those two women have been inspirational to me
Yeah.
means that there's a little corner of the world that is waiting for a Zimbabwean badass
I
black
know. I
woman
know.
with locks
I know.
to be out there roaming the world.
Yeah, sure
And
thing.
so, yeah, if you're out there and you're second guessing
Yeah,
yourself in terms
yeah.
of, I want to travel, but I'm this, I'm that, like,
I know, I
I'm
know.
massively introverted.
Yeah.
When I first decided I was going to do this trip, I was actually in debt. Um, and I love my friends and family, but I've been on the road for the last 16 months. And so whatever the things that you think are barriers, if you're
Mm.
really serious about a goal,
Mm.
you need to find a way
Yeah.
to overcome that. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Sure,
Sounds like a
sure,
cliche,
sure.
but I think it has rang true in my life. So yeah.
Wow, that's really beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. Um, you said a lot of things, and I just also like reflect on the same feeling. Like I think sometimes it's like when you don't see people that look like you doing things, like probably that I expected to be maybe white. It's like it scares you.
Mm,
Somehow it scares you because me too, before I left, or like I left my comfort zones in Nairobi, I was just like, come on.
yeah.
Even my friends were just like, bro, like, come on, like, there's no way you will survive on a train.
Mm,
You're just a girl, like, you're just getting yourself on a train and
mm,
getting yourself out there in the wild and alone. Get friends, walk with friends,
yeah.
work with a relative, do this, or go to safer places. But then Africa is not really that dangerous, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually like very motivated by white people, how very brave they are.
Mm,
Because I've met so many backpackers just riding bicycles and they're female. Come on. And they're like riding around these places. So I'm just like, what is the fear? You know?
yeah.
Like,
I think some of it is cultural in the sense that a lot of us are raised to be safe. If you are playing
mm,
outside for too long, oh, come inside, come
oh,
inside.
yes.
So, like, there's this safety around what we know. And so, when you're going somewhere where, like, you don't know anyone, I remember, like, when I first started traveling, it's like, who is
Mm,
there? Where are you going to visit? Where are you going to stay?
mm.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'll
Mm,
figure it out when I get there.
definitely.
So there's fear of the unknown. I think that's a big thing. But
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes we need to feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Sure
Because
thing.
we only stop fearing things when we conquer it.
Yeah.
And we conquer it by just doing in spite of the fear.
True. 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 True.
Because like now that you're here, have you had any incidents or anything that you or your peers fear as they come to pass?
I'm not scared of shit. Never felt so insecure, but I think also backpacking. and knowing that I'm alone in this,
Mm.
it's kind of, there's strength in it.
Mm.
I just kind of find myself being strong. I
Yeah.
have to be strong for myself.
It's like you have no
Yes, I
choice.
have no choice because I know I was so comfortable back home,
Mhm.
and then like, okay, I feel like also Nairobi is like home, but like that comfort and knowing that I have friends, I have that I can reach out. Now, when you get yourself on a bus alone with your stuff, you know you're alone. So like you're taking a flight and it's 5 hours or whatever. You're just gonna go to a place and get into a hotel and all that.
Mm.
But like low key stuff of trying to like do cheap travel and not to spend a lot, like traveling on a budget. You just get these, the personality just keeps adding up. You become
Mm.
brave, you learn more, you get to meet people who have experienced even worse things,
Yeah.
you know different places, camping in different weird, wild places, and you're just like, maybe I'm just being a baby at this,
Mm.
because if
But
this
sometimes,
person is doing
mm, sometimes you fake it till you make it.
it, yeah, yeah. But the experience is just so amazing, like how it makes you realize that, okay, you just overcome some fears,
Mm.
until you just have to get out and face the fear.
Yeah.
And when you're done past that fear, things just get into it, you know
Yeah.
yeah, so it's really great, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know, do you have things you want to share about Zimbabwe, like
What you gonna know?
what do I want to know? I literally know nothing about Zimbabwe, but I would want to know, like, let me see, all I know is like there's this kind of um Victoria Falls. It's
Mhm.
in Zambia and part is in Zimbabwe, right?
It's in Zimbabwe and part is
And
in
part is
Zambia.
Zambia.
Yeah.
So is there like some kind of conflict? Like,
No.
no, why did this
I
guy
think
lie to
everyone
me?
knows that the bit of you is from Zimbabwe. Like there's no conflict there.
There's no conflict.
There's no
For
conflict.
real. It's
Yeah.
literally today someone told me like, yeah, I was on a call and then like, yeah, so because I don't know, actually it's him.
Mhm.
Him,
Yeah. Lennox.
Junior, yeah. He was telling me, she was showing me the video you made in Victoria Falls. So like you can use the bridge to get to the Zimbabwe?
Mhm.
Yes. And he told me like it's some sort of a conflict. Like, oh, really?
No, like where's the conflict? Like everyone knows. Some people are in denial, but everyone knows the bit of you is in Zimbabwe.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's good. Right. I don't know. What should we talk about now?
Yeah. I guess also other interesting things
Mm,
that Zimbabwe is known for better or for worse,
mm.
were all about openness, hyperinflation. We had that. Um, the Great Zimbabwe, which is like one of the biggest man-made ruins, structure made without cement. It was
Oh,
the kingdom of the, oh, was it the Karanga people? Like, well, one of the big ancient kingdoms um, had their main building um, in Zimbabwe, and that still stands. It used to be on the old Zimbabwean banknotes, but
mm,
I'm not sure if they put it on the new ones. Um, yeah,
Zimbabwe.
yeah, I think
Okay.
those are the two main
Those
things.
are the two main things.
Yeah.
Okay. So how would you compare Zimbabwe to Zambia?
To be honest, I think they're quite similar in
Similar
terms of culture.
culture.
And even language. Like I found that when people speak Chichewa or Tonga,
Chichewa.
yeah,
Tonga. Okay.
like I can pick out some words that
Mm.
they're saying. Um, and like yeah, the culture is very similar,
Mm.
um, which is quite cool. The foods are like I used to be vegetarian for a very long time, and So I'm always curious what vegetarian options are available. And I feel like, yeah, I've been very impressed by Zambian cooking, Zambian foods.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm out of questions. What haven't I asked you? I think I've asked you this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's it for tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we were able to do this before you left. And also partly why we did this, it's because we should share it, right?
Yeah.
It's because like I told her, like, I rarely like meet fellow black girls who are like doing these African trips solo. So we decided to make the video tonight before she leaves tomorrow in the morning for the beauty of memories. And yeah, because we have to do it. Why not? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just happy that she's here and we have done this. And I hope anyone watching picked out a few things. And also, this is just to, I don't know if you have left anything out, but if you need more tips, you can just comment. But anything else, do you have anything you'd want to share? Like, probably?
I think my main message throughout my whole trip is
Yeah,
if there is anything that you want to do,
yeah,
um, dig deep. Where there's a will, there's a way.
yeah.
Um, find a way to turn your dreams into reality because you only live once and it might take you 10 years. I say, like, for me, the desire to travel started about 16 years ago. And it's only in the last 2 years that I have been able to really press into it in the way that I always wanted to. So it's not like an
Nice.
overnight thing, but at the same time, if you have a deep desire inside you, do what you need to do. Do not um, let people who haven't experienced what you desire talk you out of your dreams.
Okay. Since you said you an accountant, right? So how is it your passion first? Is it like something you studied because you're passionate about it?
Yeah, I was.
You were, and now?
Now I'm more passionate about people, and I feel
People.
like every time someone asks me what I enjoyed about my job as an accountant, it was engaging with the people. It allowed me to meet lots of different people, talk to lots of different people, much to my boss's disappointment.
Okay, okay. So, in your career as accounting and everything, um, is it something like you still want to pursue or
Oh, 1000%.
1000%?
1000%. I helped other people. No, actually, I don't want to say this on video.
I can edit it out.
um, I feel like I find it interesting,
Okay.
and there's so many people that struggle because they're not able to manage their money, and I feel like that's a place that I want to be involved in to continue helping people
Okay.
manage their money better.
Okay.
Um, there are a lot more people who could be wealthy if they just knew the right strategies, or at the very least, debt free, if they just knew the
Mm,
strategies to implement in order to manage their lifestyle a little bit better
okay. Okay. So
and manage their money a little bit better.
anyone can reach you out for any kind of financial service currently.
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
You're up.
At the moment, if you have like some quick questions, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you have some quick questions in relation to financial management,
Mm,
I'll be able to answer quick questions, or at the very least, refer you to somewhere where you can get that information.
mm.
Um, For all the people listening to this who have any interest in money management, I highly recommend um, reading a couple of books. One of them is called The Millionaire Next Door, and then another one is called The Psychology of Money. Just there's some
Nice.
hidden psychologies in relation to how we spend money as people, and I think it'll be cool if we got to a point where we also allow ourselves to make money and then have money work for us. But that's a completely different subject, different goal. Um, but I think it's something that I'm quite passionate about, having
That's
seen so
beautiful.
many people struggle in relation to making ends meet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really.
thank
I
you.
didn't get the bag, so I brought it like this.
Okay, no, that's fine. Thank you.
So I get it.
Okay.
Good
I
morning.
want to ask just one last question. You said in the UK
Yes,
for how long?
12 years.
12 years. Okay. So how was the experience you working over there?
Uh,
Lifestyle,
hard,
hard.
hard. To be honest, I think it's hard to say because um, working there for me was not like it was the first place I ever worked. Um, so I didn't know any different.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
and then
This
what
one
is
is
the
something
other
different.
thing? Uh, Lifestyle was challenging because I didn't like British weather. Um, it's cold and wet for most of the time. Oh yeah, yeah,
You
that's
go
right.
through it. I put it back. I want you to go through it.
Okay, yeah, yeah, no, that's all right. Thank
Get the
you.
pants so she said not dry.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you were talking about lifestyle. You didn't like the weather. That's
Yeah, I
why.
didn't like the weather. I'm an outdoor girly, but I don't like the cold. So I found myself being stuck and upset a lot of the time. Um,
Okay.
then I moved to New Zealand because someone told me that they didn't have bad winters. And then I had to learn to snowboard and ski because they love their winters.
Oh wow.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's yeah, it's different.
So when did you leave the UK?
2017.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Well, done with the video. Yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you subscribe to my channel and subscribe to her channel. Please repeat your channel name.
Yeah, so it's at Miss Mandlovu.
Miss
Miss Mandlovu.
Manlovu.
Um, it will be written over here
Yeah, yeah.
and the link down below. And in on Instagram, I'm at the Miss Mandlovu. So just at the at the beginning.
Okay. Cheers. Thank you guys for
Bye.
watching.